that conehead shirt. Well, I'm sitting here at my tiki bar, but I ain't seen the sun all day. There's a storm out there, but I don't care. Yeah, I've got Mike's weather page. Never go down. Mike's weather page. You know you were tracking every move it makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is it just me or is there spinach over here? There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis. But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now. Mike's weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time, there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, you stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching Mike's page. So put your conehead shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. Mike's weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is that Blondie Bobby? I think that's Juicy Jerry. Yeah, Mike, throw a party, man.
All right, what's up, everybody? Hey, I'm editing while we work here. What's going on? I got a couple things I got to click here real quick, but I didn't want to have that awkward silence, you know? Awkward silence. I'm trying to get my YouTube chat to pop up here, and I think I got it here. I have the YouTube big. Ah, there we go. All right, we got our little pop-up chat going. Cool beans. We're streaming live. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday here, and it's not sunny Oldsmar, but it's not raining either. Juicy couple days ahead of us, it looks like, for the state. And we are good to go. Looks good. All right. So both the dogs gave me the look just a minute ago. They're like, Hunter was side-eyeing me. He's like he knew it was his day. I swear they both look at me like, don't pick me. Remember when you were a kid and you had to do like a speech or something, and you're always like, don't pick me. Don't pick me. I'm avoiding eye contact. Don't pick me. So we picked Hunter today. All right, so what is going on? We got a little bit of weather to talk about. I always wake up in the morning, hopefully. I always wake up in the morning and I'm like, what are we going to talk about today in the weather world? Well, we got a little bit to talk about today, right? What's up, Miss Shelley? Happy birthday. Yep, yo, hell, what's up, buddy? Loretta Reed, good morning. Good morning, Darren. Belize, how about that? Pretty cool. John, do I see you? No, I do not see you. Good morning, Stacy Wilson. Good morning, Brian Morris. James Fort, how's it going, buddy? Port St. Lucie. Good morning, Richard Reamer over there in Ogallala. Karen from St. Croix. It's amazing to think technology somehow streaming live from Oldsmars, making it all the way to the Caribbean, right? Isn't that weird? Eric's heading to the Grand Turks. Pretty cool. What's up, Tom? Mike and friends. Everybody's friends. Alberto Buenos Dias. How about that? Look at that. My 3 years of Spanish is paying off. That's about all I remember. Chris's birthday was yesterday. Yep, Shelly. Yep. Hope you had a great day. Did y'all go to Rusty's? What's up, Tony from Moist? Things are moist. We're going to talk about that. In vacation mode. Rosie, what's up? Good morning. Angelique from Ormond Beach. I got Buddy live over there. Lady Fox wants to know how rainies are going to be in St. Pete. I want to know the same thing. We're supposed to have a water day planned. I think we're going to look at it. It looks like more later day rains, maybe Saturday. We'll look at that. Miss Katie, what's up? Kiki, good morning. So yeah, what's up, Ohio? Faith, you got little storms yesterday. Did you have any storms up that way? Did it make it that far south? Good morning, Mr. Eric. All right, there's a little hunter. So ABC had a really cool thing they put out yesterday. I'm going to share the link. We did a really cool little article not too long ago. So check it out. It's my it's my favorite picks. Hunter would be number one. But it's a great article. You got to check it out. I love it. I sent it to a bunch of friends already, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool!" So it's Storm Chaser to Drink Taster. Big thanks to my friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits for all that they do for me, especially here in Florida. I guess I'm an official Florida man now, right? Florida's number one spot to stop at. Get all your storm essentials at ABC, including chips and salsa. So I'll be sharing that link. It was really cool. It talks about Julie in there, which is funny. I had a funny story with Julie, and I can't believe they used it. So those were my two favorite things in my hands there, by the way. I love my Jack, and I love my TBBC. I'll be at TBBC tomorrow, by the way. They're doing their big... what the heck is that? Princess Cup. I'll be sharing some stuff on TBC tomorrow. They're doing their big club sign up tomorrow for the West Chase and Ybor. So hope to see everybody there. I'll be posting a little bit more about that. So if you're in the area tomorrow and you want to go hang out, Tampa Bay Brewing Company, that's where we'll be having a good time. I have not had a few this morning, TNS. How dare you say that? Still sipping on my my coffee. So all right. So the big news, I guess, this week was the water temperatures. In case you didn't see it yesterday, I did share that the water temperatures down there at Manatee Bay were indeed hotter in 2017. So it hit 101 a couple days ago, and then I looked back at history, and it was 102. So there was no global water temperature record, at least for the Keys, if you're wondering. I know it made a bazillion news networks, including mine. But I wanted to at least put out the facts yesterday that, looking back at history, it was 102. It's still hot down there. Not saying it's not. Not denying that the water temperature is hot. Just that the world record was not broken because it was hotter there back in 2017. So, Meg Beard, how about that? How's it going, Meg? So yeah, today's Thursday. So once again, I'll be at TBBC tomorrow night. Come hang out. The Silo Society membership club. A lot of perks. Only limited to 100 people. So if you're a local and love TBBC, Tampa Bay Brewing Company, you definitely want to Google that and be a part of that because it's a heck of a deal. All right, so what are we looking at? Orange is the color of the day. Tropicana Field color right there, orange. Tropicana Field wasn't too kind to the Rays yesterday. No. They got beat pretty bad. Hanging on. I don't know, man. Everybody gets hurt. Our pitcher's now hurt again. Right, Eric? What happened to our pitcher? Got hurt again. Hopefully Diaz is back. Oh, Sebastian, you're welcome. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Kelly. John, yep, Hunter was done. T. Martinez loves my doggy. All right, so we are streaming live. This is our Daily Brew. We talk weather. So we usually go about an hour. Just to let everybody know, we're going to talk all about the tropics, all about upcoming weather. We're going to look at future tracks, talk about history. Who the heck knows what else? We've been doing this live since Hurricane Matthew days back in 16. Shelly's been right here with us along the way. She's over on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. Once again, is brought to you by our good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. And locally, can't forget our good friends at Done Right Roofing. As we got rain coming, you might need a little bit of roof work. You never know. All right, so you might see this graphic here and get a little worried because it's kind of pointing towards the United States. But what this graphic doesn't show you is that the majority of models are showing a recurve. Majority, almost all of them are showing something like that. So for now, this is the only thing in the tropics cooking. Now, we do have this to talk about a little bit too. This is bubbling in the Bahamas. This is definitely going to bring some unsettled weather for Florida the next couple days and the Bahamas for sure. Lots of convection, lots of bubbling, lots of hot water in that western Atlantic. However, there's no mention from the National Hurricane Center for any chance of any development as far as tropical systems go. Doesn't deny the fact that we're going to see rains and storms and maybe some heavy rain if some of these cells park over you. But this is live satellite. It's bubbling. It's juicy. There's a lot of convection. If you're in the Bahamas, you know what I'm talking about. Some of this is making its way really close to the coast already. So this is going to be the weather story the next couple of days here. Is it's all this moisture surge is just going to shove itself over the Florida Peninsula. Examining things this morning, I know it's hard to see this map sometimes, but there's just no sign at all of any sort of rotation. It's a tropical wave, a little wave. You can see the wave kink right here. This is the wave axis. It's not, there's no spinach. we like to get scientific. There's no spinach. So you got to have some sort of spinach. But it doesn't negate the fact that there's a lot of juice down there. There's already some storms coming ashore right now. It looks like heavy storms there on eastern parts of the state. So this is just going to be the story of the couple days here. Heavy rain, random rains, really no idea who's going to get what. Our rain chances are up to 80% tomorrow, all the way over here in Oldsmar. So that is the story of the day. The Storm Prediction Center not showing any sort of severe storms with this. Severe storms today are highlighted in the Northeast. And there could be some tornadoes in the Northeast. They got a 5% marker here, way in the Northeast. But as far as severe storms go, there's nothing other than just normal thunderstorms out of this blob. So tornado chances seem unlikely. Maybe a water spout possibly coming in, with some of these convection bursts that we see over the Gulf Stream. So you can always probably see maybe a water spout. But as far as severe storms go, the big stuff today is hanging out here. We do have a tornado risk for Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. Not very common to see so much northeast weather this time of year, but they've been getting a lot of rain, flooding, storms, and today there's a possibility of a tornado chance in this brown 5% area. So very odd jet stream pattern. We kind of have a blocking pattern going on right now and keeping everything kind of to the north. So that's that for that. We'll keep an eye on that. The tropics. So let's talk about the only game in town. This little guy. It's not an invest yet. Remember, in order to be an invest, They would designate it. It would be Invest 96 if it were. It could be any moment, could be any minute, could be now. I don't know. Once they declare it an invest, it's an investigative area that they're going to investigate, then spaghetti models start to run. The new HAFS model starts to run, which you can see on Tropical Tidbits. The HWRF runs, the HMON runs. But until it's an invest, we don't get spaghetti models from all the computer guidance that we see. So we'll keep an eye on it, right, Bobby? That's right, Brian. We call it Bahama Mama. It sounds like a drink. One of our Brew Crew members was at a bar and they had a drink called the Spaghetti Model. I'm like, what? That's what I'm talking about. Spaghetti Model. All right, so let's look at models and we're going to focus on this wave. Just get everybody up to speed. So we'll go Tropical Tidbits. Basically, this is the only game in town. High pressure. So same thing as we've been talking about for the last several days. Over the weekend, there's going to be a front. That's going to weaken our high. It's going to open up a gap, it looks like, and our system's going to curve towards that weakness with that approaching cold front first part of next week. The GFS ensembles have been very adamant that this thing's going to curve way before the United States, maybe by Bermuda, but there has been some operational runs that were being shared all over the internet, as always, that were actually possibly hitting the United States. But the latest GFS has gave in and now is curving out to sea. Sounds like a poem. So here's your latest GFS. North of the Caribbean, curve east of Bermuda. Good news for Bermuda right now. Here's Tuesday. Here's Wednesday. So still timing is the same. Sunday, Monday, somewhere north of the islands. Still close enough to watch. But as far as consistency goes, man, we have really good consistency. Here's the latest Euro. Curving east of the Bahamas. And the latest Canadian. East of the Bahamas. Or Bermuda. They both begin with B. Well, east of the Bahamas. I was right. East of Bermuda, too. East of Bahamas and east of Bermuda. But look at that. That's the Canadian. And of course, there's another wave coming. But we're just focused on the only game in town right now, which is the spot in the Atlantic. And the icon. So, man, very, very high confidence here that we have a weakness and cold front over the weekend. This thing finds a gap, high pressure curve. So, see you tomorrow. But hey, we like to see confidence, right? I show all scenarios. When we have confidence, there's really no reason to go into but, because there's 4 models showing the high confidence. And yes, I'm not drinking from my Louis cup today. So anyway, Kathy says it's so calm it's unnerving. Well, listen, July is slow. Somebody asked a great question over there. I would love to put the Twitter feedback on my page. I'm leaving it on there because something with the Twitter API, they took it away, not just for me, but for everybody. Somebody on the inside emailed me that they're going to try to bring it back. So the Twitter feed, isn't there. And even on Tropical Tidbits, I think he had his tweets embedded. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, the feed is gone. But the good news is the individual feed is back. So that means I can embed it back here again, hopefully. I hope so. So anyway, the Twitter feed hopefully will be back so I can embed it. It's all my favorite weather people. But I'm glad I went to Levi's site because now at least individual posts might be back. So I can at least put this back over here and back on my The only reason I like the Twitter feed on my personal posts is when I retweet something or share, it'll pop up on this feed over here. And it's a lot more weather data right here on the right side of my page. So it gives me something to do here in a little bit. All right. All right, so there you go. That's it. Things are quiet, at least with this little guy. Talked about July, very slow, very common. A lot of people ask me about the dust. Look at this, though. I want to show you this. The precipitable water map is just incredible. Now, this is going to be a good map right here. Let's show you this current map. Let's show you. So there's basically three things we're looking at right here. This is a huge surge of moisture. I got to get to the... Where the hell's the bottom at? Why don't I have a scroll bottom on the bottom? Anyway, this is a surge. All right, so this is... It's this old Invest 95. What's interesting with this Caribbean juice, it might be hitting our buddy Ian over there in Jamaica maybe. This is water in the atmosphere. But look you can still see some spin, man. This is not organized. This is old Invest 95. At one time, this was a 70% chance of development. Now it's nothing. But, it looks impressive. It's going to go into Central America. And then there's a chance that it might reform in the Pacific. It's just going west. West winds are going to actually maybe bend it down a little bit. But it's incredible to see. Now, here's our other moisture setup. You can see the moisture from the south combining with the moisture from the north. You can see it's starting to get like that wrap around effects. Do that. You can start to see it coming together. Next thing you know, you're going to start to see it kind of spin a little bit. So this is the coming together of a tropical system here in the intertropics convergence zone down here around 3512 markers if you're watching. And here is the other surge. Now this is like a leftover funnel line that's now getting pushed along with these trade winds. And you can see that surge of moisture now over the Bahamas and entering Florida. So there's three areas here on the precipitable water map. Only one that's actually being watched by the NHC is this one over the open Atlantic. But you can see the moisture in the atmosphere. And on this Bay News 9 graphic here, which I link, you can click to it here. Look at that. That is the most moisture you'll ever see in the atmosphere. So that Central America is going to get a lot of rain heading your way. A lot of moisture in the whole Atlantic basin right now, especially here in the Bahamas. All right, so let's close a few things here and take a look at some more data. All right, so we showed there's no spin. We're going to talk about ensembles now to even better build confidence that our Atlantic spot is going to recurve. So when you look at that NHC map, so if you were to pull up the National Hurricane Center map and you see this graphic, you kind of see this arrow and you think, oh no. So the ensembles are good too, because you'll start to see that there's confidence in this curve that I'm talking about, which is past 7 days. So there you go. This is the latest GFS ensemble spread, and you can see the majority of these are pulling north of the Caribbean and curving. Almost all of them. So the first people to be watching, obviously, would be Bermuda. And that would be middle of next week, if it made an approach to you. This would be sometime around the 2nd of August right here. Long way away. But that is it. The latest Euro ensemble split here. Way east of Bermuda. So there you go. Not going to talk about it much more than that. Other than that, man, that's pretty quiet. 15 days out, we might be starting to get a couple more, but so yeah, I'm not going to talk about that one that much more. That's that. Let's take a look at this big old blobby mess here coming off our coast, though. So it's a tropical wave, but man, look at this thing. This is going to be interesting to watch. So There's no signs of any circulation, but man, tremendous amount of convection popping here over the Bahamas. This is live. Look here, weathernerds.org, if you want to do the satellite there. So anybody in Bahamas, can you verify how rainy and maybe stormy it is? This is the current look. Let's just leave it up here and slow down a little bit. So yeah, look at that, huh? I mean, the trade wind, the lower level winds are going to blow. You can always verify that here. Let's go to about, I don't know, 700 millibar, 850. This is the wind direction, kind of showing you the direction. So even though our blob is, blowing convection here, the lower level winds are going to be taking it that direction. So that's why this blob is going to actually add juice here to Florida because of the winds. And there you go. You can kind of see it. Great imagery here with Weather Nerds. You can see the convection blowing off with those lower level winds. So you can always look at Knoll School, see the lower level winds, and you can kind of get an idea where these unorganized structures go. Interesting, right? So look at your radar apps today and look at your rain chances in Florida, and I guarantee you they're going to be up. So, I posted a question to the Brew crew. So I used to have a chat up here, but the other day I did a live video and I had the 2-day, 7-day up there, and some people said they liked that better, that it was too much going on. So kind of let me know. I might put the 7-day up and just have like where the 2-day is the chat. So it's some chat, but I like the static imagery of the 7-day above my head. It kind of gives you an idea what we're talking about in the tropics. Teresa's got donuts for everybody. Jill says South Florida's under flood watch. Let's verify. I could believe it. Yeah, you are right. You are correct. Bob Barker, come on down. So there you go. Flood watch in effect. Yeah, big news, really. Heavy rains. Let's look at some rain totals. Let's look at some stuff on that. I am going to get into this, though. So I did a hurricane conference yesterday with Oldsmar, and I want to get into that. I'm going to talk about this here in a second. So we have something to talk about. Don't go anywhere. But let's take a look at some rain forecast for Florida real quick. Let's do a blend of models first. We haven't used this in a while, blend of models. Let's take a blend of models. This is temperature. Why would I click on temperature? Because I'm chilly. Rain. There we go. Rain. Look at Florida. Florida. All right. So here's your rainfall through Tuesday. How about let's do it through... All right. Here's through Saturday morning. God, it's so hard to see that, isn't it? You can't even see the outline of the state. This is terrible. Terrible map. You can't even see Florida. Here, I'll draw it for you. There you go. There's Florida. So here's rainfall through Saturday. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, here's rainfall. This is rainfall through Tuesday. That's a lot of rain. Let's just kind of give you through the weekend. Here's rainfall through the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So obviously, the farther south you go, the more accumulation you get. No high totals showing. 3 inches max. So 24-hour map totals. Look at that outline. That worked out really good. I've never done that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Nothing works. All right. Here's Friday rains. So here's the rain through Friday today. You can see that. Basically, it looks like the next 2 days. I know that map made no sense to probably anybody, but that's interesting there. It's just anytime, any place, peninsula, there's no way of knowing what's going to happen. Let's look at the HRRR and just kind of get an idea how it's doing on the system. It did pretty good on the system, so I give it credit. Let's take a look here. 12Z's up. There's only 33 hours. Why is it only loading 33 hours? That's not good. Come on. Boo. We can go to tropical tidbits here. Okay, so here's basically the rain through today. You can see it pushing up through the state. Little break tonight, and then tomorrow morning. I don't know. I mean, it could be today and tomorrow. I mean, by Saturday, it might be a lot better. There's not really a lot showing. Got a little spin too. Look at that little spinach pulling up north. See that? Whoops, we just defaulted to 13Z. All right, but I mean, there's a line coming later today for the West Coast, and I mean, it's East Coast first, West Coast second. I mean, that's kind of what we talked about yesterday. Tomorrow's going to be really weird. I don't know. It's not showing a lot of rain tomorrow. South Florida, yes. Just getting all kinds of funky lines, though. You're getting a lot of these lines rolling in. It's kind of a little low pressure area trying to set up over the state. It's just, I don't really think they know who's going to get it and when they're going to get it. It looks like at least for the West Coast, it's still going to be more later day. East Coast more early day. Middle part of the state, any time of the day. Rain chances are up a lot. 80% for me tomorrow, 70 Saturday, 70 Sunday, 70 Monday. So, yeah, you're just going to, your radar is your best friend. That's it. Keep an eye on the radar. No one really knows. I mean, we'll have to see if this convection bubbles its way across the state or not. It's just kind of hanging out with the wave right now, right over the Bahamas. Really fascinating to see that just sit there. Might be able to see it. Nah, they don't have it on the surface charts. They might have it on the Storm Prediction Center, though. Let's see. They got some. Storm Prediction Center has some really good, intense modeling here. You can do little low pressure spot right over Canada. Jesus Christ, I said Canada. Oh my goodness. But anyway, there's our little axis right there, a little tropical wave. They have a little low pressure spot right over Bahamas. Surface, you can look at all kinds of stuff with this map. I love it. I forget to use it sometimes. But we have a lot of tools that we can use here. A lot of squiggly lines. But yeah, if you're ever wondering about this site, you go to Storm Prediction Center and click on mesoscale right here. Mesoanalysis, and then you can click on your region and you can get that, and then you can really get down into all kinds of graphics, precipitable water, and all kinds of stuff. Duraco composite, so wind shear, thermodynamics. All right. Anyway, so that's not a lot. Somebody needs more Princess coffee. I know Ben Newberry. I know I said Canada, man. Cajun guy wants to know about the heat. It ain't going anywhere. Sorry. Chalk It Up over on YouTube wants to know, what radar resources do I recommend? Well, I buy an app called Radar Scope. I love it. Radar scope to me is great. They might have a free version, Freebird. I do have a link here on my page. I also have it directly embedded on my app here. But if you go to Google Radar, I love this radar imagery, and you can put it in rotation too. So I love this radar. This is the one I keep on my screen when we're driving down the road. I always waited for the day that we could have a car that could be summoned by a watch like old Knight Rider, and you can have full screen radar while you drive. And then I woke up this morning on TikTok and I found out we have UFOs among us. I'll stick to weather, but it's a good one. I like this one. This is good. The only thing about the radar scope is that I like it because you can pull up vorticity and see a little better detail. You can zoom in on particular radars too. Like, so I can zoom in on Miami right now, and then we can, I can check things like velocity and, just overall just cool, like 2 screens, and you can put it in, rotation. And now the only thing cool about this online app is it has a future button. If you go here and click future, a lot of people don't know this, it has future radar. Oh, I know what's going on. My thing is a little too big right there. So future radar is pretty cool. This is 414, so we can actually put things in play here. So this is future radar, and this has a timestamp on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it all the way. I think I got to make this a little smaller, but oh well. There it is. Happy. Ooh, now you got white up there. I don't like that. All right, we'll go right there. How about that? That's good. That's good. All right. Oh God, darn it. Here. Trying to make it fit perfect in my screen here, and it keeps going like that. So. Anyway, that is part of the page. Okay. So anyway, it's got future radar, which is really good. It's based on the HRRR, but you can stop it. Like right here, this is 10:41 a.m. This is future radar. I love it. 1:13 p.m. A lot of this is based on HRRR, but it's good. Look at all this nasty weather down in the Bahamas. This is later this afternoon. So you have current, that's live, and then you go to future, and you can follow along and see where it's going to go. So I like that. But as far as apps go, so Cajun, somebody was asking about heat. Here's your end of the month heat forecast. I assume you're in Louisiana, Cajun guy. Nothing wrong with Cajun, unless you dump the whole bag in a shrimp broil and ruin $200 worth of food, like I've never done. I have to show you that story. You'll probably laugh. I have to pull it up here. Let's see if I can find the description of what I bought. So let's type up Cajun. Oh, that ain't right. How about seasoning? Seasoning, and here it is right here. All right. So this is what I bought. Oh man, how can I pull it up here to show you how silly I was? I don't know if it tells you with the packaging. The backside did. But I made it, here, let's try this. Louisiana, it's called Louisiana Fish Products. And I'll see if I can pull up the silliness that I did. All right, so let's go to the, oh, they actually have a web page. All right, let's pull up the web page. I'll zip it on over here. All right, so since we're talking about Cajun, why do I gotta accept so many cookies? I don't even like cookies. All right, so all right, so I love shrimp broils. So we always buy the I don't even know what is that? Everybody buys the same stuff, and you put in the bags. It never seems spicy enough for me. All right, so one time I bought this on Amazon. It looked really good, right? Nothing to mix, just pour and boil. That's what it says. Well, I didn't read the bag. I still can't read the bag. It basically said it's enough for like 45 pounds of shrimp. But you read it, it says just pour in and boil. So I put the whole 4.5 pound bag in there. It was like 20 pounds of crawfish, you know. I mean, it was nothing. I mean, it was supposed to be like a whole year's supply of Cajun seasoning, and somehow I put the whole bag in there. I wish I could find the back of it because it actually said enough for like 45 pounds of shrimp. Oh, that's so. Anyway, oh man, I ruined a whole thing of shrimp boil. And everybody's trying to be nice. Nobody could actually stand it. So anyway, that was my screwing up a shrimp boil story of the year right there. Don't put the whole bag in. We had like 2 pounds of shrimp, not 45 pounds of shrimp. I kind of liked it. On the corn, it was pretty good. But all right, so that's that. You know, whatever. Here's precipitable water. It's showing you that big surge of moisture coming up. 12Z's having a hard time to run. Let's go, just go to 11Z. But this is the water in the atmosphere coming up. You can kind of see a little spin. Look at that. See the little spinach off of the Gulf Stream? There's nothing marked by the NHC at all, but still is interesting. So it looks like the middle to the East Coast state will be the highest chances for the heaviest rain through to today at least. But, you know, nothing tropical. I guess you kind of watch these things in real time. You know, you just never know if you get any sort of spin in it. The main convection's still over the Bahamas, but it'll be tropical feeling for sure. All right, so Ben, man, low country boil for you this weekend. Oh my God, I love it. Katie, that's why we read labels. I know. We're talking about Bubba Gump. David Berryhill. I love shrimp. Matt, what's stale cracker? I love the Florida Cracker Kitchen. That's really good in Brooksville. All right, so did a cool little hurricane convention yesterday with our neighborhood buddies. Hurricane buddies are called, with all our associations. City of Oldsmar was there. Pinellas County EOC was there. Oldsmar Fire and Rescue was there. They all spoke. I got to speak. It was a great little 2-hour get together for our community talking about hurricanes. And I always put together new graphics. Spent a lot of time doing these. So I came up with this one. And the question was to Tampa Bay specifically. First off, Tampa Bay area, it's not a matter if we ever get a hurricane. It's when we're going to get that hurricane. So we've had 3 major hurricanes head this way since Charlie, Ian, and Irma. And all 3 of them turned after being expected to hit Tampa Bay. At one time, all 3 of these major hurricanes were expected to hit Tampa Bay, and all 3 turned. All 3 storms caused massive evacuations for our area, and a lot of people evacuated. So the question I pose, and I just posted it also on Facebook, is, if we get that 4th major hurricane heading to Tampa Bay, are you going to evacuate? Because the feeling that I get from people is that they're just tired of evacuating. You know, you leave town. It's a headache finding out where to go. You got to fight traffic. You got to fight coming back home. You can't find rooms. You got your dogs. It's just people get tired of it, you know, and I get it. The thing I'm worried about being in Tampa Bay is if we do get a hurricane and nobody evacuates, because Pinellas County is a island. If you look here, let me show you some stuff, some surge maps. I don't know if I had the surge maps or not. I don't think I did. I thought I did. See, I zoomed everything to Oldsmar. All right, so 2 days before Ian came ashore down in, Fort Myers area, it was expected to pass by Tampa Bay and land north of us, and the surge maps pretty much showed the worst case scenario for our area, and I don't think people really realized how bad it could have got, and this pretty much put the whole city of Oldsmar underwater. Our causeways, even though the bridges will likely be above water, the causeways leading up to the bridges will probably be underwater. Skyways usually, you're not going to go south. Skyway closes anyways. So the problem we got in Pinellas, man, is there's a lot of people trying to get out, and there's only be one or two ways out. So, waiting the last second might not be best advice ever. Some of the maps here showing our area, we have these water marker maps all across our area. So the question that I posed last night, we talk a lot about it. Living at the top of the bay here, we're in a bad spot. This is Lake Tarpon. They're pretty much showing everything's going to be underwater from Lake Tarpon all the way down to the bay. Meaning, where are you going to go? 19's underwater. Pinellas County could be cut off. Meaning, if you did not evacuate, you ain't getting out of Pinellas County. These are real life scenarios that if that storm did not turn, then we would have had what Fort Myers had. So, I always post this picture here. This is Oldsmar. One time we did have a storm. So 1921, Category 3 hit Tampa Bay area, and this building was underwater up to this red line. This is Sarah, my little model. This building was pictured in 1921 with these old horse and buggies and the old Oldsmobiles and stuff. This was where the water was. This is where people evacuated to. This building is here. Right there. And we have a lot of people living here. So that was underwater. Whoa. My truck here, there's a water marker sign here on Limeball Avenue, it's called, which is here. Way up here. 2.5 miles. This asterisk is exactly 2.5 miles from the bay. 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles. And this storm surge, I parked my truck right underneath the storm surge line. It's still another 4 or 5 feet above my truck. So in a major hurricane, if we get a storm pass to our north and everything else lines up, because we have a lot of shallow land here, then this area right here could be up to here. This is why I evacuated. Or I didn't evacuate. I've had my family evacuate, including my mom and dad and her mom, because of this fear of surge. It's real. So anyway, that was what we talked about last night. Did you know in 1848, so in my area here, Tampa Bay, Pinellas County, there's only been 2 hurricanes that ever passed within 20 miles. Only 2. One was in 1921, Category 3. And in 1946, we had a Category 1. unnamed October. Both of them in October, by the way. In September of 1848, there was a Category 4 hurricane that wiped out John's Pass. They called that the Great Hurricane of 1848. And the most probable path that they came up with was basically through Tampa Bay. And that was a long time ago, 1848. But it was guesstimated to be a Cat 4. So we've had them. We've had a Cat 3, Cat 4. Question is, are we due? Indians. A lot of people think the Indians. This is a graphic from our buddies at Bay News 9 showing you how 4 hurricanes in October have come really close to our area. The 21, the 46, there was also a 44 hurricane and a 68. What's interesting about this little factoid is that all 4 of these hurricanes that came close to Tampa Bay were all before 1969. So are we due? Kind of think we're due. So anyway, I put this all together. Talked a lot about surge and whatnot. So this is an interesting graphic put out by the National Weather Service. Storm surge does not care what levels Saffir-Simpson scale storm we have, right? Category 3 Katrina had 28 feet of storm surge. It was a Category 3. Everybody gets wrapped up in category numbers, right? Category 2 Hurricane Ike had 20 foot of storm surge. It was a Category 2. I don't have Sandy numbers on here, but Hurricane Ian was a Cat 4. We had 10 to 15 foot. And you're probably thinking, why did Ian not have as much surge as Katrina, being a Category 4? And Katrina was a Category 3, right? Katrina had almost double the surge of Ian. Well, Katrina was a big system, slow-moving system, and it pretty much went straight north, pushing all this water. You know, Ian turned at the last second. Didn't really have as much time to build up water, is my theory. 10 to 15 was very serious, as we saw, but it's hard to imagine. Well, actually, Ian technically was borderline 5. Remember, they have it now as a 5 right before landfall. So we can almost say Ian was a 5 on approach. But Katrina was double the surge. Bigger system, slow-moving system going due north, pushing all that water up the Gulf. So the angle of Ian, turned in a little bit. Charlie, 6 to 8 feet of surge. We had almost 5 feet of surge in Tampa Bay from Tropical Storm Eta years ago. So Charlie was a tiny little system, fast mover, low tide, only 6 to 8 foot of surge. So look at Irene right above it. So Category 1 Hurricane Irene had more surge than a Category 4 Charlie. So every storm is different. The bottom line of this is a very fascinating graphic. And did you know that when you have surge numbers, you add tide to that, which really gets influenced by moon cycles? So surge, tide, and then you have waves. Waves are not included in surge numbers. So imagine Katrina with 28 foot surge. Then you add the winds and the waves on top of that, and we have even bigger. So the water, man, is scary. This was 8. I talk a lot about 8 over the years. So, yeah, here you go. A little tidbit for the day. A little tropic talking for you. So, Jason wants to know, will Pensacola get some rain? Not from this blob. So, anyway, anything else we talk about? So yeah, things are slow. Don't get complacent right now. Into July. Remember, I say it all the time. But yeah, number one thing people come up to me during every hurricane season about this time. I get the same thing. Man, the season's slow. Season's slow. It is always slow in July. Last year, we didn't have a storm in July or August. 2004, our first storm was in August. And looking back at these graphics, some of these graphics I put together for yesterday's little presentation I did, areas in our area that the 5 closest hurricanes for Tampa Bay area for where I live. Not taking away anything from Ian. Trust me, Nicole. This is a presentation I did yesterday for our community, so it was focused on Tampa Bay, Oldsmar. But you can see, other than Aaron in '95, we had September, Gene, Francis, Irma, Ian, September, and then the 2 hurricanes that have hit Tampa Bay within 20 miles, October. The Category 4 that hit Tampa in 1848, late September 25th, almost October. So you get that feeling. Late September, October. If my neck of the woods is when you pay attention. And usually it's down here in the Caribbean. So if you're wondering where I got these graphics from, we haven't showed them in a while. It's a really amazing tool. You can sit there. You can waste a whole day at work. I do. Go to past tracks. It's hidden. There's a lot of hidden little cool links on my site. So go to past tracks. It's from NOAA. Type in your zip code. And you get to this page. So then we can start doing things like, okay, let's do Ian. And you can click on Ian, and you'll see Ian. You can click on it and get a little more information on it if you want to learn more about particular storms. You can change the base maps, because I don't really like that base map. I kind of stick to the satellite base map. It tells you timestamps, which is really neat. You can learn a lot. It was a tropical storm when it exited the state. So remember when I did all that coverage from Nicole, and I kept saying this is damage from Nicole, and everybody's like, no, that was damage from Ian. Well, Ian was only a tropical storm when it exited our state. And it did all that seawall damage only as a tropical storm. Pressure gradients. So then what you can do here too, so hit the little plus button. Add to my storms. Let's do another storm. Let's do Charlie. Charlie 2004. We can add that to our favorites. Boom. Let's do Nicole. I love this little map. Nicole. Add it to our favorites. And then, what the heck was it? Gene or Francis? I can't remember. That came across. I think it was Gene. All right, so let's add that to our favorites. All right, so then we go over here to our favorites, hit View All Storms, and we have a cool little customized track here. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. This is unbelievable. So, I don't know if you've seen this graphic yet anywhere. Maybe I'll post it today. This is the most amazing thing Mother Nature has ever done. So, Charlie and Gene were both into 2004, and Ian and Nicole were 2022. Both of them almost exact same. Let's look at Francis. Maybe Francis was closer. I can't remember now. But anyway, I'm going to go back to Francis. One of these Gene. But what the point is, they were 43 days apart. That's the graphic. So Charlie to Gene or Francis, I'm going to check, was 43 days from Charlie. And Ian to Nicole was exactly 43 days apart. And they had almost the exact same path. Even up here, look at this. This is even weirder. Look at that. Ian and Charlie, almost the exact same landing spot. And that was just north of Charleston. Between Charleston and Myrtle Beach, Ian and Charlie. That's just crazy to me. And look at Gene and Nicole. I mean, they both came across the state almost the exact same crossover here north of Spring Hill. And they both went up through Florida here. I mean, that's just wild as hell, man. Look at that. I mean, they didn't even follow the same path. That is Mother Nature, man. Weirdo. Weird. All right, let's look at Francis. I think that was, I don't know if it was any almost probably the same damn thing. Let's do Francis and Nicole. Whoa, that's not right. What the hell is that? We're in Greece all of a sudden. Welcome to Greece. There we go. Alright. Maybe it was these two. I can't remember. It was graphic. Oh, yeah. Well, hell, they're almost the same anyways. So Gene and Francis and Nicole were almost all the same. Francis and Gene are almost the same landfall, right? So Nicole and Francis is almost the exact same secondary landfall, just close to... Oh, is that close to Apalachicola? No, Apalachicola's right here. So, anyway. Weird. What's the overview, Kelly says? I don't know. I don't know. So, all right. Well, there's our weather in a nutshell today. I try to go an hour and ramble on a little bit. So appreciate you sticking through it all. I'm going to share that ABC link. It was really fun to do. I really appreciate ABC sharing that. Get to hang out with my buddy Jason from Furman. He's in town, so we're going to be doing some fun Furman stuff this weekend. Maybe me and Jason go to Lowe's and do like a funny TikTok at Lowe's showing some Furman generators. Don't forget our good friends at Done Right. I always talk about their blogs. Somebody was asking a question I shared. They were really thankful the other day. It was about rain and getting your house ready for hurricanes season. There's a lot of articles here. I think it was page 2. Getting your home ready for the hurricane season. There's a bunch of hurricane links on here. Getting your roof secured before the hurricane. That was the blog somebody asked me about. So I shared it. But I was thinking of them yesterday when we were doing our hurricane seminar. You know, as a matter of fact, here's the little paper Pinellas County gave out, which is great. I don't know where to pick these up at, but it has a ton of information in it. Pinellas County. Lots of great information. And one of the things they talk about is securing your home. Secure your home. And that's what made me think about this. There's a great article on Done Right about securing your home, your roofs before hurricane season. So great information. I don't know where the heck you picked these up at. It's printed by the Tampa Bay Times. It's got everything in there, all your evacuation zones and tons of information. So I would highly recommend getting one of these. I actually was very impressed. I'll be honest, I don't spend a lot of time looking at this kind of stuff, but generator safety, you'd be happy Furman. There's a whole generator safety section on there. So highly recommend it. Tampa Bay Times, called Ready, Set, Protect. It's probably great to have stashed away. Hopefully not having to use it, but I got mine stashed away. So there you go. All right, so we will see everybody tomorrow. I'm going to work on my Twitter list here. Hopefully it's working. And so that's it. All we got to worry about today really is, nothing other than watching this blob off of Florida. Tropics look like that spot in the middle Atlantic's going to recurve, maybe Bermuda. So it's even looking like it might be shifting to the east. So quiet day. Gotta love it. All right. As always, thanks for tuning in to our Daily Brew. Follow me on TikTok. I'm going to do one here in a minute on our new spot to watch. Just to let everybody know now that it's orange. Of course, on YouTube and Twitter. Now it's called X. Time for my Weather in a Nutshell video. This is what I do now. Weather in a Nutshell. See y'all later. Bye-bye.